Welcome back to the channel. My name is Thomas Fletcher and I'm the host of the Military Social Work Network. If you're new to the channel, please do me a favor by smashing that like button, by subscribing to the channel, and by sharing this video with your social work colleagues and friends. The purpose of this channel is to create a community of hope and support where military and aspiring military social workers can come for relevant news, information, and inspiration. Okay, so my standard disclaimer that this video is not being endorsed, promoted, or sponsored by any military or governmental agencies, and the opinions and views stated in this video are mine alone. Okay, so we are continuing our series of Black History Month military leaders. Today's episode, we will not be focusing on an individual, but we will be focusing on the service and history of the 369th Infantry Regiment, which is more famously known around the world by many nicknames, including the Black Rattlers, the Men of Bronze, and the Hellfighters or Harlem Hellfighters. And actually, another note, the descendant unit of this 369th is still in operation. It's the 369th Sustainment Brigade in the New York Army National Guard. So shout out to my battle buddies in the 369th Sustainment Brigade in the New York Army National Guard. This video is to just provide a highlight to the 369th Infantry Regiment, otherwise known as the Hellfighters or the Harlem Hellfighters. Okay. So what I find most inspirational about the 369th Infantry Regiment, which served during World War I, was in spite of all of the racial discrimination that they suffered, primarily in the United States, but I'm sure they also experienced racial discrimination in Europe. They rose, they excelled. They did not let anything hold them back, and they did suffer losses. They suffered extreme losses during combat, but they were still recognized by their enemies as well as by other allied troops as being a very, very successful unit. So let's talk about them a little bit, okay? Matter of fact, during World War I, the 369th Infantry Regiment spent 191 days in frontline trenches, more than any other American unit. They also suffered the most losses of any American regiment, with 1,500 casualties. So let's do a little background on the 369th. The 369th Infantry Regiment, formerly known as the 15th New York National Guard Regiment and commonly referred to as the Harlem Hellfighters, was an infantry regiment of the New York Army National Guard during World War I and World War II. The regiment consisted mainly of African Americans, though it also included several Puerto Rican Americans during World War II. With the 370th Infantry Regiment, it was known for being one of the first African American regiments to serve with American Expeditionary Forces during World War I. So the 369th Infantry Regiment was constituted on June 2nd, 1913 in the New York Army National Guard as the 15th New York Infantry Regiment. The 369th Infantry was organized on June 29th, 1916 in New York City. The infantry was called into federal service on July 25th, 1917 at Camp Whitman, New York, where they learned basic military practices, including military customs and courtesies and other important military basic training. After completing basic training at Camp Whitman, the 369th was called into active duty in New York. While in New York, the 369th was split into 3 battalions, in which they guarded rail lines, construction sites, and other camps throughout New York. After finishing combat training at Camp Wadsworth in Spartansburg, South Carolina, the 15th Infantry Regiment was assigned to the 185th Infantry Brigade. Despite the combat training that the regiment had received at Camp Wadsworth, it was relegated to labor service only. On April 8, 1918, the U.S. Army decided to assign the unit to the French Army for the duration of American participation in the war, because white American soldiers refused to perform combat duty with blacks. Wow. The 15th Infantry Regiment, which was redesignated as the 369th Infantry Regiment on March 1st, 1918, were issued French weapons, helmets, belts, and pouches, although they continued to wear their U.S. uniforms. While the 369th was in the U.S., they were subjected to intense racial discrimination. In France, the 369th was treated as if they were no different than any other French unit. And for the most part, the French did not show hatred towards them and did not racially segregate the 369th. The French accepted the all-black 369th Regiment with open arms and welcomed them. By May of 1918, the 369th Infantry Regiment was reassigned from the 185th Infantry Brigade and went into the trenches as part of the French 16th Division. It served continuously until July 3rd before returning to combat in the Second Battle of the Marne. Later, the 369th was reassigned to the 161st Division to participate in the Allied counterattack. On one tour, they were out for over 6 months, which was the longest deployment of any unit in World War I. They were the first Allied unit to reach the banks of the Rhine River by November 26, which was 15 days after the day of armistice. So I just wanted to again highlight and give honor and praise to the 369th Infantry Regiment. And again, the purpose that I'm talking about, these Black History Month military leaders and units, is to give all of us inspiration. What they went through, what they achieved, despite all of the barriers, all of the racial discrimination, and yet they rose to the challenge. As I read earlier, at one point they were relegated to labor, which means latrine duty. The worst jobs in the military were consistently and regularly relegated to all black troops. This is a historical fact. This is not me editorializing. This is a historical fact, and yet they showed up. They did what they needed to do. There were forces in higher parts of the government that lobbied on their behalf, and they were able to get assigned to combat duty under the French Army, and they served with distinction. I didn't talk about their honors, but they did receive several honors. They received French medals, and so I just wanted to again talk about the 369th, the Harlem Hellfighters, and give them their due. And again, the 369th Sustainment Brigade in New York, Army National Guard, continues to serve today, and I'm sure they're continuing to uphold the high standards that the 369th Infantry Regiment established, during their service in World War I. So I want to thank you all for watching this video. For all the social workers out there, thank you for everything that you do every day for your clients, for your agency, and for the profession. Please continue to support each other and yourselves. Bye for now.